People inside Iran described the assault on protesters as a slaughterhouse. They're calling out to the West, especially President Trump, for help.
The president meets with his national security team at the White House today to discuss options. Chris Mitchell reports from Jerusalem.
Despite a nearly total internet blackout, foreign militias enlisted to fight the protesters, and live fire on the streets, Iranians continue to fill cities throughout the country with their call for freedom. Juliana Taimoorazy, who heads a ministry to Iraqi Christians, was born and raised in Iran, and many members of her family are still there. She says the protesters are continuing to make a call to the West.
Please come and help us. The next few hours are absolutely critical. Their eyes are on Israel. Their eyes are on America. They're begging, they're pleading with us to assist.
Most protesters are looking to President Trump for help. On Monday, he imposed a 25% tariff on nations that trade with Iran, with more options on the table. Today, the president meets with his national security team to discuss options.
Diplomacy is always the first option for the president. However, with that said, the president has shown he's unafraid to use military options if and when he deems necessary, and nobody knows that better than Iran.
The U.S. has warned all Americans to leave the country. Iran says they're ready for talks with the U.S. based on mutual respect, but there are no details on their offer. Some warn the regime is simply buying time to crush the protests. Reports from inside the country say the death toll is staggering.
My sources have been telling me that it's a slaughterhouse. There are rivers of blood. That's what my source was saying in Tehran alone.
Despite the perils, the protesters believe this is the final battle.
Literally millions pouring out on the streets. People are saying, this is it. We're at the end of the rope. We're at the end of the line. And the question that I keep getting from folks in Iran is, President Trump, you've said you're going to come and help us. We're getting slaughtered. Where are you?
Taimoorazy says at this hinge of history, Iran and its people need prayer.
We must pray for the safety of these young men and women that are imprisoned. Pray for the families of the deceased. Pray for those that are brave, that have taken to the streets. We must pray for divine wisdom, for Bibi Netanyahu, for European Parliament, for President Trump.
Chris Mitchell, CBN News, Jerusalem.
Well, the horror stories coming out of Iran today remind me of Indonesia and that riot with Suharto still trying to cling to power, and he unleashed his own army, the commando, the special forces, against a civilian population. We're seeing that again. This isn't the first time this has happened in Iran. We're seeing that Republican Guard, the elite force, being unleashed on a civilian population. It's absolutely horrific what has happened. But we're at a pivot. It's an incredible time in history where literally the map of the Middle East can be reshaped. So no longer do you have a terror regime in charge of Iran. What a wonderful blessing that will be to the entire region. No longer funding Hezbollah. Lebanon will be free of that, able to develop again. No longer funding Hamas in Gaza. The people of Gaza can live free from that. It would be an absolute game changer for that government to fall. So let's pray for that. Let's believe God and ask Him to please intervene and protect the wonderful people of Iran. They need to overthrow this government. They're on the streets trying to do that, but it's tough when you're a protester and they're firing bullets at you.